Welcome. In this video, the event, Racing Hearts Beauty and Bloom, will be summarized. Throughout the video, there will be spoilers for the story of Umamusume. If you don't want to be spoiled, please go and play the game. Beauty Ann Shinzawa, a world-renowned fashion designer, announces she's relocating from Paris to Japan and will host her prestigious Beauty Dream Cup audition there for the first time. Any Umamusume can enter regardless of experience as long as they spark her interest. The prize is to model her signature wedding dress-inspired racewear. The URA officially endorses the event and encourages all students to participate. The news sends the entire school into an uproar of excitement. Mayano Top Gun, Kawakami Princess, and Hishi Akibono all eagerly decide to enter together. Meanwhile, two others find themselves with more complicated feelings about the audition. Major Dober wants to enter, hoping it will help her build confidence and overcome her fear of performing in front of crowds, but struggles to believe she's worthy. Her friend Airgroove encourages her to apply and let the designer be the judge. Airgroove herself had not planned to audition, but receives an enthusiastic call from her mother, who reminds her of a childhood dream to one day have first-rate racewear made just for her. Unable to disappoint her mother, Airgroove reluctantly considers entering. She reasons that becoming a muse could raise her popularity and bring her closer to her ultimate goal of becoming the Empress. The five Umas anxiously await the results of their initial screening, and are thrilled when they all pass together. The audition details are kept secret each year, with instructions only telling them to arrive at Beauty Island in tracksuits. Princess imagines it will be a luxurious resort, but the reality turns out to be something far more rugged. Meanwhile, Groove receives a congratulatory call from her mother and looks back on a cherished memory of admiring her mother's sparkling racewear as a child. Dober also takes a moment to thank Airgroove for encouraging her to enter, and the two acknowledge that they will be rivals at the audition. Groove promises not to go easy on her, and Dober enthusiastically accepts the challenge. On the day of the audition, Shinzawa arrives dramatically by helicopter and explains the challenge to the gathered participants. She describes the bond between an Umamusume and her racewear as something like a destined engagement, which is why all her designs are inspired by wedding dresses. The task is a race across wild terrain to reach a chapel, meant to mirror the journey to the altar. Those who make it through while radiating beauty will then deliver a heartfelt proposal explaining what racewear means to them. Shinzawa will then select the muses whose words move her, and those chosen will model her designs in the unveiling race. The audition begins, and the rough terrain immediately sends participants scrambling in every direction. Mayano and Groove race neck and neck towards the chapel while Dober falls behind and loses sight of Groove entirely. Princess then appears and proposes they team up to clear a boulder blocking a potential shortcut. Dober agrees, hoping it will help her close the gap, and they together successfully push the boulder aside. However, the shortcut leads them to a dead end with a mysterious signboard that reads, "The road shall not open for those who lack beauty." Unable to solve the riddle, the two take a break and begin talking about the reasons for entering the audition. Dober admits she hopes becoming a muse will help build her confidence, while Kawakami encourages her by pointing out that simply stepping outside of her comfort zone already represents growth. Princess tells Dober that she can see the same drive to improve in her eyes, and promises to always lend her support wherever Dober feels stuck. Inspired by the conversation, Dober refocuses her determination and resolves to keep moving forward towards the person she wants to become. The two turn their attention back to the riddle, but before they can make any progress, a loud cry rings out from the direction of a nearby stream. They rush towards the sound and discover Groove has apparently fallen from a waterfall and is disoriented on the ground below. Dober and Princess are shocked to find her there, unsure of what has happened. The situation takes an unexpected turn as the audition grows more dangerous than anyone anticipated. Airgroove explains to Dober and Princess that she had actually reached the chapel first, only for Shinzawa to reject her on the spot. Shinzawa tells her that while she is an exemplary student, she lacks passion and is treating both the audition and her racewear as mere stepping stones towards becoming the Empress. And Shinzawa also reveals a personal connection to Groove's mother, whose radiant presence once inspired her master to create a special set of racewear, and that memory became the foundation of Shinzawa's entire design philosophy. Declaring that Air Groove is not yet worthy of her creations, and Shinzawa sends her down a waterfall slide as a parting challenge. After hearing this, Groove calmly vows not to seek revenge through confrontation, but to earn Shinzawa's acknowledgement the next time they meet. She then turns her attention to the mysterious signboard and concludes that the cliff itself must be what they are meant to climb. Dober is the first to commit to scaling the cliff, declaring that she will overcome any obstacle standing between her and becoming a muse. She frames it as a direct expression of the resolve that Princess had encouraged in her, channeling her desire to grow bold in action. Princess rallies behind her with equal enthusiasm, and the two begin their ascent. Groove watches them and reflects quietly, realizing that their fierce determination and passion are themselves a form of beauty. She also reconnects with her deep childhood admiration that she has always held for her mother and her racewear, recognizing those feelings as something genuinely beautiful within herself. Moved by this realization, she joins Dober and Princess, and the three charge towards the top of the cliff together. Groove, Dober, and Princess scale the cliff together and arrive at the chapel, where Beauty and Shinzawa greets them with delight. As a penalty for having been sent away earlier, Groove is made to go last in the proposals. Princess goes first and declares that her racewear represents her vow to become a princess of both elegance and dignity, worthy of exquisite attire and her future Prince Charming. Dober follows and speaks honestly about her lack of confidence, expressing her wish to become an undefeatable Umamusume who can stand proudly against even her role models. She describes her racewear as an essential presence that supports her and helps her grow, and Beauty warmly accepts her heartfelt wish. Both proposals move Beauty enough to win her approval, setting the stage for Groove's turn. Groove delivers her proposal last, speaking from a place of deep personal admiration for her mother. She describes her racewear as a symbol of everything she strives to become, rooted in a childhood dream to one day be as beautiful and accomplished as the woman who inspired her. She vows to remain worthy of her racewear and pave her path forward with honor and glory. Beauty is visibly moved, declaring that a wonderful fire has finally appeared in Groove's eyes and passing all three of them as her new muses. Beauty also retracts her earlier criticism of Groove, praising her beauty as truly splendid. The moment is briefly shadowed by the realization that Mayano, who had been leading the race, still has not arrived at the chapel. After their presentations, the group notices that neither Mayano nor Akebono have arrived, and Beauty assures them that the two are simply discovering their own beauty. The story then flashes back to earlier in the race, where Mayano is confidently leading the pack and daydreaming about the admiration she'll receive once she wins her wedding dress racewear. She overcomes her fear of a suspension bridge by pushing through it with determination, even beginning to enjoy the challenge once she finds her footing. However, her momentum is cut short when she hears a familiar voice calling out from below the bridge. She discovers Akebono has slipped and twisted her ankle on the cliff below and is unable to climb back up on her own. Akebono calmly asks Mayano to continue to the chapel and send a medical team back for her, knowing it will mean retiring from the race itself. A mid-race announcement from Beauty confirms that Mayano is currently in the lead, with Groove close behind, making it clear that pressing on would almost certainly earn Mayano a spot as a muse. Akebono encourages her to keep on going, insisting that she'll be fine and telling Mayano to become a muse for both of them. Mayano is torn, however, remembering how excited Akebono had been at the start, declaring she wanted all of them to run together in wedding dresses. She thinks about how much Akebono must have wanted to become a muse herself and feels the weight of the choice in front of her. The audition that began as a personal dream has now become a much more complicated moment of decision. Mayano is left frozen with uncertainty, unsure of what to do. Despite her injury, Akebono sits alone and tries to stay positive, telling herself it will be wonderful just to watch her friend succeed. Her thoughts drift to a childhood dream of becoming a chanko hot pot, the hearty stew made for sumo wrestlers, because she loved the idea of nourishing others and bringing them joy. She drew a parallel between the dream and racing, seeing both as ways to grow stronger alongside friends while putting smiles on everyone's faces. However, Mayano suddenly returns to her side, having chosen to give up her lead rather than leave Akebono behind. Mayano firmly declares that they'll reach the chapel together, reminding Akebono of her own words about wanting everyone to get their dresses. Moved and quietly relieved, as she had not truly wanted to retire, Akebono gratefully accepts her friend's help. As the two make their way slowly towards the chapel, Akebono apologizes for slowing Mayano down and worries about costing them both their chance at the racewear. Mayano refuses to hear it, telling her that abandoning a friend would make her unworthy of such a shiny outfit in the first place. She explains that her vision of being a mature, sophisticated woman is the same as Akebono's philosophy about racing. It only means something if everyone around her is happy too. The heartfelt exchange strengthens their resolve, and the two press on together, cheering each other forward. Back at the chapel, the others are growing worried enough to consider sending out a search party, but Mayano and Akebono arrive just in time, laughing and triumphant. The group reunites and sends them straight inside to deliver their proposals to Beauty Anshinzawa. Beauty reveals that she had been watching Mayano and Akebono for the entire time through drones, and now asks them to deliver their proposals. Akebono describes her racewear as a hard-earned reward, something special that can only be received after giving everything and overcoming a challenge, and vows to earn one alongside her friends so they can all race together. Mayano reflects on how the audition changed her, admitting she once thought a beautiful outfit was simply a path to becoming a glamorous woman, but now understands she wants to be someone who makes others shine just as brightly as herself. Beauty is moved by both proposals and passes them without hesitation. The story then jumps forward to the day of the Beauty Dream Cup, where all 5 friends stand together in their custom racewear, each reacting to their dress with wonder and emotion. Groove privately marvels at the craftsmanship, noting how the dress both resembles and stands apart from her mother's iconic outfit. The Beauty Dream Cup gets underway with all 5 muses racing in their new outfits before an enthusiastic crowd. Mayano surges ahead early and relishes having everyone's attention on her, feeling as though she had finally stepped into the dazzling woman she always dreamed of becoming. Groove pushes close behind, just as determined in this exhibition race as she would be in any other, especially with her mother watching from the stands. Dober races with quiet resolve, refusing to lose even to her role model, while Princess charges forward with her eyes both on the finish line and her imagined Prince Charming. Akebono simply beams with joy, reveling in the happiness of racing alongside her friends. Beauty Anshinzawa watches it all unfold and is overcome with delight, privately declaring every one of her muses a blindingly dazzling beauty. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well.